communications to enlighten our youth on the evil of cyber crimes. It is worrisome that 7 out of 10 students today are involved in cyber crimes. These are the youths we are preparing to be leaders of tomorrow. The media should not relent in enlightening them on the evils of such criminal practices. Well, NANS has responded, National Association of Nigerian Students, and they are saying that we believe in the principle of innocent until proven guilty. And sweeping statement that point at entire demographic with a broad brush and not only damaging but also perpetuate harmful stereotypes. It is essential to address the issue of crime without unfairly stigmatizing an entire group of students who are working diligently towards their educational and personal development. Now let's see what netizens are saying about this. For Victory, it says, and yet every EFCC chairman gets indicted for fraud once they leave office. And then attaching this meme is this user Cruise Lodge, who says, have you checked politician statistics too? Okay, maybe to see how many of, the time that politicians are involved in fraud. So if we could just go ahead for more reactions now. Engineer Shaibu says, this is an insult on all Nigerian students by EFCC chairman Ola Olukoyede. I could list 10 Nigerian students that I know right now and none of them is an internet fraudster. Maybe he is referring to schools in his hometown because we know the fraudsters in government right now. And more reactions coming in. More reactions, please. Thank you. Baron is saying that the destruction of the digital footprint of Nigerian students is actually an economic sabotage because you criminalize the future of a great proportion of Nigerians. And to more stories and thoughts now, Titus is saying that I would sincerely love to see how you were able to obtain this data. We aren't that gullible, meaning the entire university, in fact, the entire nation is cybercrime suspect. Well, let's move away from that to go to Kogi State now, where the police command has confirmed that gunmen attacked the secretary of the State Governorship Election Tribunal, David Umaru, in Lokoja, and made away with sensitive petition documents on the just concluded election in the state. Now, this happened on Monday, but the police could confirm and make the announcement yesterday, Wednesday. And according to them, the attackers carted away all the petition documents filed by political parties at gunpoint. Now, the documents belong to Action Alliance, that's AA, Action People's Party, APP, People's Redemption Party, PRP, and Social Democratic Party, SDP. So, as Dino Melai of the PDP said, he's not going to court. Actually, it's been confirmed now that he is not in court to challenge the election of the November 11 result. So let's see how netizens are finding this. Believe is saying that God himself, they shock for some kind news where they come from Nigeria. Nahero says APC don't even want anybody to challenge them in court. Law, accept your defeat and go home. Petitions have been carted away. How do you even begin to explain? Maybe at this point you will explain tire. No evidence. Leo says, let those 4 political parties submit another copy. But then the other next reaction is concerned. Midayo says, another broad daylight rigging. Everything now gunmen. Why can't security agencies protect the lawyers while the petition is being taken to court? Before you know it, judge will tell petitioners their time frame to file petition has passed. Okay, so let's see how all of this will happen, whether they have copies to resubmit or the court will provide, maybe security or provide the documents, copies of the documents that have been submitted to them. But let's come back to Abuja to say that the Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila, has denied claims that a huge amount of money was budgeted for the renovation of his residence in the 2024 appropriation bill. Now, in a post on his official X handle, Gbajabiamila said there was no such provision as he lives in a private residence. This was in reaction to the backlash on social media following claims that 10 billion naira was budgeted for the renovation of his residence and another 10 billion naira for his computer software. Let's see what he wrote on X, even though he wasn't really clear what the state of things are. But it says, I have seen social media commentary regarding the 2024 appropriation bill, particularly the provisions under the office of the Chief of Staff to the President. Owing to the erroneous nature of this report, it has become necessary to clarify that there is no provision in the 2024 appropriation bill for the renovation of any residence for the Chief of Staff to the President. I live in my private residence. Now, he continued to say that the sums mischievously quoted by online bloggers and fake news merchants are for renovating the presidential quarters in Dodan Barracks and the Vice President's Lodge in Lagos to overhaul the information management and communications facility in the presidency to meet modern standards and to provide vehicles for the staff of the presidency. The sums proposed for this project are clearly stated in the budget proposal and bear no resemblance to the deceptive online commentary. Now, he continued to say that the administration is dedicated to transparency and it will continue to educate citizens on whatever their concerns are, but then they would not take fake news. So let's bring you in at this point. First is Daniel Rega, who says, Gbajabiamila, you quickly debunked the news, but didn't tell the public where or how to get the actual information. Many reports about the budget proposal is alarming, especially the reported 200 million naira to feed Asurok animals. Tell Nigerians where they can read about the real budget proposal. For another user, he says the country is borrowing to pay salaries, hospitals are shutting down, and basic drugs unaffordable. Your concern is to renovate a very useless lodge, borrowing to maintain a wasteful lifestyle. Borrowers should be humble. Omo, that speaks to everyone, you know. And then this user says, thank you for providing this clarification regarding the 2024 appropriation bill and the provisions related to the office of the Chief of Staff to the President. It is important to have accurate information about government budget and to avoid the spread of misinformation or false narrative. And then for another user who was tweeting at Saved by Grace, he says there is no significant difference between Gbaja's explanation and the so-called online news. The difference is on nomenclature. Whether Gbaja, Tinubu or Shetima, all boils down to the renovation of a house that is not a permanent residence. Is it not a waste to you? Is there no other modest way of renovation? And it says Nigeria is a sin, whatever sin that is. Maybe Act 1 sin, something or so. So yeah, that's everything on Kakaaki Social this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll see you again tomorrow. I was going to greet you in Otutuoma, but then Naigbia and Ekarosa.
Naigbia.
Very representative.
All right, so how you doing?
Exactly, I was going to call you back there, and he said that it sounds more like your leg.
Your leg well.
And I do confirm that, you know, while people, because around us there, while people came around, used to like, that's how they learned it. Your leg where. So when you say your leg where, you now remember that is uleg where. That you ask, how was your night? So uleg where.
Also ileg where.
Ileg where.
Ileg where. Okay,
yes,
Reda, thank you so much for all those developments in that space. Social media, Nigerians are really very active on that space, reacting to almost everything.
So I was going to ask, have you found yourself on the budget yet, or someone you know?
I'm still searching.
You are still searching?
Oh, yeah.
And gunmen have stolen the petitions in Kogi State. All the parties have submitted their petitions against the outcome of the elections. What are your thoughts on this?
But you know, jokes apart, that's a very serious issue.
Very, very
That's a dimension that we've never seen before in the electioneering process in Nigeria. It's never happened before that gunmen will cut away election petition documents.
So what for, you would want to ask?
They are gunmen. Let's see what the police finds out of all of this.
Okay, so we hope the investigation is concluded or is conclusive at the end of the day. We thank you very much, Reda.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Okay, so we'll take a moment and then go into our next conversation.